Hey, y'all. We are back again. This is AZB coming to you in the middle of the night. I can't sleep. Or do I want to sleep? I don't know. We're not gonna deal with that. I just hope that when I come on here tonight, I say what needs to be said and not what I want to say, okay? So, I had two topics in mind, but I'm really leaning towards mental health tonight. It's been on my mind for the last 2 days, and I really didn't know what the hell I was going to say. Like, I was like, God, what do you want me to say? You know what I'm saying? So I was watching this movie, and God always talks to me through movies and songs. Like, he always seems to put a part of a movie up or something that be like a clear explanation to something that I was thinking, wondering, something like it be right on the money. And I don't care if I'm thinking about somebody that is my color, whatever. Like, okay, I'm gonna get back to the topic, but today I'm gonna use this as an example. So I had some on my heart and on my mind that I was really pondering about and going back and forth, back and forth, back and forth about it, right? And it was so crazy because this part in this movie comes up. And even though the person is not the right color, don't really look exactly like the person that is in my head, but when I tell you they was damn near like the same type of hair, the same type of, the way they wear their clothes, everything. And the part in the movie was like dead on the money to the things that I was thinking about in my mind about this person. And I was like, shut up. This has to be confirmation. Okay. So we going with another situation, okay? So mental health. I'm watching this movie, and there's a young man that wants to have he basically wants to come and shoot up the school. You know what I'm saying? School shooting situation, which we've seen plenty of them, right? But this was the very first time that I truly was able to switch from look at this psycho kid that decided to shoot up the school, you know what I'm saying, to having sympathy for this child. And then I started thinking about all of the real school shootings that have happened. You know what I'm saying? And let's just be honest. Most of them kids that come and shoot up the school be looking crazy as hell. I'm sorry to all of those parents that their children have shot up the school. When the pictures came out, they look like John Wayne Gacy. Come on now. Can I get an amen? Okay? I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I love you. But let's just be honest here, okay? So, but I really started to have sympathy for the children because a lot of those kids that come to the school and spaz out have been bullied, like nonstop, constantly bullied, right? And then the kids that have been doing all of this bullying, now they're the ones being comforted. They're the ones that's needing therapy and shit. But what about this little kid that's been bullied and beat up on, and to the point where they decided to snap? Like, nobody seen this the whole time. No teachers, no principals, nobody seen that this child was being bullied. Yeah, you seen it. You seen it. You seen it. And y'all don't do anything about it until the shit hits the fan. And I really think that it's time for that shit to stop. Like, seriously. The the bullying era needs to go all the way away. So, we don't just have bullies in schools, because the little bullies grow up to be big bullies. They get in relationships, they get jobs, they become parents, and they're still bullies, right? So in our community, I hate to make this a racially divided thing, but I can't talk about what goes on the other side of the fence, because I'm not on that side of the fence, okay? But what goes on in my communities is that mental health is so frowned upon that it's sad. People see me get on here quite often and talk about toxic patterns. And I think that I have a soft spot about toxic patterns, because those patterns are either what leads you to having mental health issues, or it stems from mental health issues. A lot of times we don't want to see the adults in our lives. Well, we are the adults now, but those who have brought us to this point in our lives, the aunties, the uncles, the grandparents, the teachers and parents, and anybody else who was around to help you, help to raise you, even if they were just around because they were hanging out with your parent for the day or whatever. Everybody has some type of effect on your life, right? And a lot of times we really don't want to say that, but children are sponges. You were not always an adult. So when you were a child, you were soaking up everything that was around you, good, bad, or ugly, right? But in our communities, we have a lot of stressful situations, whether it be the passing down of trauma, things that were endured, whether you were a female or male, the family structure, being taken or separated from land, or we've had a host of things that has made us mentally and emotionally scarred. And in our community, we love to say how if a man shows any form of, if he shows any emotion, if he shows any feeling, if he shows love, if he shows empathy, he's weak. If a woman shows any of those things, she is overly emotional. She is angry black woman. She is too vocal. She is, we have all of these stigmas on top of emotions. You know what I'm saying? And emotions are stemmed from what we think, how we feel. You know what I'm saying? Well, that is an emotion, how we feel, right? But if we don't have a clear handle and grip on our feelings and emotions, society as a whole puts another amount of pressure on you. And as I noticed, you know what? And another thing, we hide the fact that mental health, like we break down at times. Life becomes too much at times. You know what I'm saying? And we run from it. Like it's some type of I can't say badge of honor, but badge of disgrace. You know what I'm saying? Which every human goes through highs and lows. You know what I'm saying? And it's so sad the amount of pressure that we put on people to pretend that they are okay, to pretend that you can keep going. And even though you feel broken inside, you have to put on this face, you have to put on this smile, go to work and pretend. Even our kids, you know what I'm saying? When our babies have little boys have a boo boo in the fall, oh man, stop that crying, knock that shit off. You know what I'm saying? Dust it off. You'll be all right. And for the most part, you don't want them to not be able to handle things. And I understand, you have to get it together and pull yourself back together. I understand that theory. But where does it come a space where a man can say, I'm hurting? A woman can say, I'm hurting. Do you know the type of, once you break down emotionally and you keep having to hide it, it starts to wear on the brain. Once it begins to wear on the brain begins to play tricks on you. It starts to, tell you because you could be your own worst enemy. Like, I don't care how many haters you think you got. You can double, triple that, okay? You could tell yourself how ugly you are, how nobody ain't gonna want you, how that next big idea ain't nothing, that great job you ain't got enough credentials for. You can beat yourself up more than the world ever could. But we also have to not worry about, but we also have to look for the ways that our immediate circles are beating us up and putting pressure on us emotionally and mentally, and how those people can actually give you a mental break. We don't want people to know that there are people in our families who have, may have had an emotional breakdown, psychological breakdowns. And a lot of times, just because somebody has broken down for the moment doesn't mean that it has to be a ongoing life process. And unfortunately, we cast those people off so quickly. And instead of hearing their cries when they're saying that they're being mistreated, we blow them off. We talk about them like a dog. We isolate them. We make them the black sheep of the family, you know. Isolation causes more stress. Kicking somebody and talking about them when they at their lowest is only more bricks being thrown, more pressure for the bow to break, you know. I have someone in my family who struggles with mental health issues, and I talk to them. I can't necessarily say with regularity, but they call me. And there's been a few times where I was able to, because they are in a place who deals, you know, a facility that deals with those types of things, right? But I was saddened one day because I had also written them off. You know what I'm saying? Like my whole life, they pretty much have been in that way. So I had too written them off. But this one day, not too many months ago, I decided to just slow myself down enough to really have a conversation with them without any judgment or bias, right? And I'm on the phone with them and they're telling their story. Not that I was asking any questions about a backstory, but this is just what was coming out this day. And I came to realize that they weren't crazy at all. Now, yes, they are on medicines that have them a little loopy and have them what a normal person would associate with being off the rails, you know. But if you really listen, they wasn't crazy at all. I was literally in tears because I went with society on and just wrote my family off. Like, ah, you, mm, 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 mm. You know what I'm saying? But the medicines that they give are not to help. It's to suppress. It's to quiet. Shut them up. Get them off your nerves. Make them stop talking about what it is that they are obsessing over, you know. Just because a person is a conspiracy theorist don't mean that they crazy or need some medicine. But the times that that particular person went into the mental health facilities, we as a collective weren't really breaking down or putting people in categories, you know, whether you were autistic or had ADHD or ADD, or, you know, whatever they put on you, you know what I'm saying? Whatever title they give you, it wasn't sectioned off like that. And you just kind of, okay, you're not acting within the guidelines, so you get put over here. Here's a pill, please be quiet. But the thing that I really want to say tonight is it's time for us to stop writing people off. It's time for us to stop hearing somebody crying out and not caring about what's being heard, because what they saying is the very thing that can either stop them from having that blow up or break down, that school shooting, that can stop them from harming their child. You know, because women get into postpartum depression, and we blow that shit off. Men go through things like we all go through, and I don't want to sit here because I really didn't make like a point list, and I really am tired of like trying to look at the piece of paper and get back to y'all and look at the piece of paper, which I should, because maybe it won't be so random and just everywhere. But I hope that tonight somebody understands where I'm coming from. Please, let's stop writing people off. When people are crying to you, when people call you talking about their woes and their issues and they can't handle motherhood and they don't think that they could deal with this and that, yes, be an ear. And sometimes you can't do more than just be an ear. But when somebody is really crying out to you and you may have a piece of advice that can give them, if you have been through something similar, teach somebody how to get through it. Say something that's going to pull them back off the ledge. Let's everybody stop just, not literally driving past people on the highway, because it's a lot of crazos on the side of the highway trying to set you up and kill your ass. But no, hypothetically speaking, let's stop driving past people on the highway of life, on the highway of mental health, seeing that they have a flat tire, seeing that their car is about to catch fire, and not doing nothing, not saying nothing, not calling for help, AAA, or nothing. I know that can't nobody bring you out of some things but God. But everybody, please remember that God put us down here to be a blessing to one another. And if everybody just embodies that, the fact that, or just to take it in and know it, that we are all here to be a blessing to one another, it will make each one of us a better person. It will make all of our experiences here better. I'm not going to go on and on all night about this. And I might even have to do this again, because I just feel like there's so many other things that I could say. Maybe my mind is moving faster than my mouth, but we really have to do better, collective. Like everybody. It's time to have a balance. Get out your corners of, I'm all about me. Get out your corners of, I'm all about everybody, because the people that has always been about heal the world, don't forget about you. You got to balance between those two worlds. And the people who have been all about you, it's time for you to be about healing the world. It's time for a balance. Everybody. Because in order for anything to get better for real, because we ain't going back. The world and the life we knew prior to the pandemic is no more. And the pandemic has put all of us into a major spiral. There's so many people out here that's scared. I mean, they're so scared that it's to the point where it is messing with their psychosis. There's people out here saying to themselves that they are too scared to go and visit their mothers and grandmothers, but they're not too scared to go to the grocery store and the mall. You're too scared to go and see your uncles and aunties, sisters and cousins. But you're not too scared for the weed man to pull up. You still go to work with hundreds of people in a building. But you ain't gonna go see your mama? That's a psychosis. That is a legit problem. That is a mental problem. Like, how do you allow people to tell you that it's too much of a risk to go see your family, but you get your ass up and you go into a crowded store for food? Even if you get up at 6 o'clock in the morning and you beat the rush and you go to Walmart, right? Somebody packaged your food. Somebody put the food where you got it from. Somebody organized those boxes of macaroni. Somebody hung those shirts that you looking at. Like, let's keep it real. The stores clean up things that y'all are never supposed to see. I remember God had blessed me to even have a job, even though I was pissed off about it. I was working at Walmart during the pandemic, okay? I wish I knew what my Walmart vest was, because I sure put it, just pull it out just for you not to know I ain't lying, right? But there was a woman. I never saw her because she was slick. But she legit went and took a pregnancy test. Took the pregnancy test and set it on top of the rack of clothes, like in the middle of the circle of clothes. Like, she had peed on it, which I refused to get. I told them, y'all can fire me today. I'm not touching it. I'm not me. I'm not gonna touch it. But no, that I just said that to give you an example of how crazy this situation is. Sorry, y'all, I gotta stop banging on my table. But no, I mean, like, you don't know what is actually happening out here. And I didn't say that to make you further stay in the house. I wanted to show you that there's constantly things going on. The kids still have to go to school. Life is still going on. But we are being broken down psychologically. And I'm not going to get into the who's and all of that. I'm just want to talk about the part of mental health. Like, we are all under such immense strain. I could keep going with my examples. And not just my examples of stay in the house, or, but I have a few examples about how we are being, our brains are being straight massaged right now, like, and not in a good way. So with all of that being said, take the time to check on one another, because we all are all under some stressful shit right now. We've been going through some stressful shit. Like the last years, my mama, her mama, the mamas and mamas and the mamas, like we've been going through for a long time. So with all of these societal boundaries and loopholes and things we have to conquer, go up against, and fight for, and stand for, and push for, and it's draining. And all of those components, work, school, home, bills, food bills, how you gonna do this, how you gonna get this done, the kids need, all of these things are heavy weights. And on top of that, we have some crazy people running the show, especially right now. You baby boomers, I'm sorry, but I have to stand with some other people I done heard on the internet, and I really totally agree. Y'all motherfuckers done fuck shit up for everybody. The baby boomers. Y'all are the ones in Congress, in the House, in the Senate, Ku Klux Klan leaders, and a whole bunch of other things right now. Y'all running things right now, and y'all are fucking shit up for everybody. I mean, everybody. I ain't never seen nobody. I never seen a group of people so self-absorbed that you would mess up the government, the structure of it, the economy, and everything with your greed. I know this is all the way off kilter, off the subject. Y'all fucking up the water. Y'all have polluted everything. Y'all have tried to suck up every resource and try to resell it back to your own kids. I don't know what to say about y'all. They talk about the millennials and Gen X and Gen Z. No, the motherfucking baby boomers. Y'all. Y'all. Exit stage left. Sexual chocolate. You know what I'm saying? Like, please let somebody else take over, because y'all did a terrible job. It's terrible. Terrible. Y'all should have never got in the office. None of the offices. Or the officers. None. Just go sit outside. No office for you. Okay? But anyway, check on your people. Stop pretending that everything is okay when it's not. That's the shit that make people go postal. That's the shit that make the little kids go kill up the schools. Everybody do not have the money to go and see a therapist. I totally get that. But you can study how to make yourself better. Get away from that damn phone. Get away from the TV. Get away from the radio. Get some time to yourself. Just you and God. Work on them toxic patterns within yourself first. And I know that sounds like a total contradictory, but once you see the bullshit in you, you see the bullshit in others so fast. And you can move away from them faster than ever. Like, oh, I see that. Let me, you know what I'm saying? I'm gone. Let me dip. So, I pray that everybody stop ignoring your own mental health. Stop ignoring your family's mental health. Stop ignoring a little kid down the street's mental health. We need each other right now. And that's why we're seeing probably so many breakdowns right now, is because everybody is so stressed. So I'm going to go find me some joy, whatever kind of joy that might be. Relieve some stress. Maybe I'll punch a bag or something. Who knows how I'm going to relieve some stress tonight. Yeah, like, share, subscribe, and I will see y'all soon.